I just saw how bad the inside was. Hey guys, it's Anthony from Just Keep It Fresh. Today we have this Mini Cooper with us. Now this red colored car is actually here because the customer wanted us to increase the value of his car. Now this is the exact topic that we'll be looking at into today. How can we make your car look like it's worth thousands more than it actually is when it first came in? And that's what we'll be doing today. Making the value of this car worth more. Now, this car actually came in a really, really bad state. As you can see, there's a bit of glossiness over here, and that's because we've actually polished a few panels just to see if it's doable or not. Peter has actually got a few pictures and B-rolls of the car from before this, and when it first came in, and it looked absolutely atrocious. It looked like it's a disaster on the car. And the crazy thing is, all these contamination and all these defects on the car can actually be avoided before the car is actually in now. But obviously the previous customers or the previous owners of the car didn't really look after it, and it was actually parked under the sun for a very long time, which gives us a really good example of what your car can look like in the next few years if you don't protect your car. Now, this Mini Cooper has all sorts of contamination and damages on the car, as I said before. Now, the main thing that I see is sun damage. If we look into the hood and on the top and parts of the paint, you can see that the paint has actually faded quite a lot. And the reason being is because number one, I think it's got a bit of salt contamination on it, and number two, a lot of UV contamination, UV damage onto the paint as well, that it looks like it's almost have the paint kind of just sanded off. And what we're trying to do is, when the customer here wants us to kind of bring back the glossiness of the paint, bring back see the trim over here, it's white, bring back that black dark look of the trim as well, and also give it a really, really, really good detail. Now, what the customer's actually done as well and optioned in for is, after the paint correction process, we are going to be sealing it with some form of sealant. Obviously, depending on what the customer actually wants, we will seal it with a sealant, and then hopefully it won't go back to the way it is. And that's the exact reason why we're doing this vehicle, to prevent and to protect the vehicle from going back into this state. But finally, again, as I said before, the customer really wanted to make sure the value of this car worth a lot more than it was before. So what we're going to do, we're going to address the issues that most customers are going to see, which is the exterior and also the interior, and we're going to try to make it look really, really, really good. I've already said we're going to polish the car, we're going to be sealing the car, we're going to address the issue of the trims over here, but what we're going to really do now is we're going to do a really deep clean to see if there's anything else that needs addressing, because I can't see much from under this layer of dust and dirt and grime. So Matthew's going to help us do a deep clean now, and we'll get to that right now. Wow, what an amazing video. We actually transformed a car that looked like it was worth nothing to a car that actually is going to be on market for a fair value. And this is the reason why we do this. Detailers should know that when you detail a car, you are actually transforming not just a vehicle, but also a customer's sort of impacting on their current situation. And what we've done to this Mini Cooper was, it came in looking atrocious. And what we've done was we basically demonstrated our skills in detailing and changing the look of the car from something that's worth probably $2,000 to $3,000 Australian dollars. I'm talking about Australian dollars. And then probably you're able to sell it for anywhere between 9,000 to 10 grand to 12 grand. So that's a huge impact on the price change and the value of that vehicle that we've done. And you don't even pay anywhere near as much as that increase in value. So that's one thing that I want to talk about. And the customer was obviously super happy and like surprised at what we can actually do. One of the hardest part was making sure that when we polished the paint, when we were paint correcting, that we weren't overdoing it because the paint was so thin. And what we've done was every time we did a paint correction on each part of the paint, we actually had to measure to make sure that the paint wasn't on a very thin level where it's almost dangerous, where if the customer were to do another paint correction one day, it's just gonna disappear. No, we made sure that it was still on a safe level, and that's what we did. The plastics, my God, they pretty much look brand new again. That's one thing that I really want to talk about, like changing the looks of that vehicle. Second thing, I challenge detailers out there who call themselves detailers to take in customers who need a change or transformation on their cars. A lot of times now, detailers actually, they choose their own jobs. They call themselves detailers, but they want something that's preferably easy to do, or a car that's preferably very new, so they don't have to put too much effort into it and still charge an astounding amount of money. And that's crazy. And I really want to, and for our viewers, you're gonna see a lot more videos of us transforming vehicles from one to almost looking like a completely different vehicle, because I think that's what a detailer should do. Not just be able to, hey, come in, ceramic coat your car. We're gonna do a 1 hour polish, and then we're gonna coat the car. 3 hours later, the car's out of the door. Boom, $1,000 gone. That's not what a detailer is mainly, there for. You're not specializing in new cars. What you're doing, you're detailing cars. Cleaning and detailing is different. Cleaning, you're making a car look clean, but detailing is making that car look better. You're basically putting makeup on your face. That's what detailing is, putting makeup on the car, making that car look really good. And that takes skills and that takes time. And for detailers out there who call themselves detailers, I challenge you to put the time and effort into customers who are needing your help. We're getting many calls lately saying that, oh, thank you, you guys are the only ones answering my call or replying my message in doing this. We're just one detailing shop in Brisbane. There's a lot more. They need help, and we are always constantly booked out with these customers. And I think it's unfair that they can't find any other detailers out there who won't take that job. If you call yourself a detailer, don't choose your job. Don't overprice your services to kick these customers away. Accept them and transform their lives, just like we have with this customer. And that's pretty much it. I'm ending on a good note. Stay tuned for another video that's coming out. We have an Integra and it was really moldy, and I think that's gonna be a really cool video. Remember guys, just keep it fresh. Boom.